Hi, this is Glenn Hughes, and you're watching Loudwire.
Now, going back to Deep Purple, was there any singular event that you would say kind of broke the back of the band before the breakup? I mean, David Coverdale was allegedly in tears, handed in his resignation. They said, hey, what band, no band left?
Yes, and this is the dark speech. Unbeknownst to me, I was, let's just say, moving into the fast lane without knowing it. Tommy Bolin, unbeknownst to it, had a history, a rumored history of opiate use, which led to his death. And he and I were the toxic twins in Purple. He moved in with me when he got the gig. So I had someone to hoist a pint of beer with and do a couple of lines. And when you're 23 or 4, you think you can, this is like...
You're invincible.
And by the way, back in the early 70s, there was no Betty Ford, there was no rehabilitation centers, there was just, maybe some gurus going around saying, I'll exercise you or something, heal. We didn't know we were getting caught up in the fast lane, as Joe Walsh as proudly and admirably wrote about. What broke the camel's back, and this really is a soundbite: sex, drugs, and rock and roll, man. Sex, drugs. There was some behind-the-scenes activity with girls and wives going on, and there were drugs involved, and rock and roll was wild abandon. You saw Deep Purple and The Who were the most dangerous band of the mid-'70s, early '70s. There was, if you were on the Deep Purple stage, you were going to be. If you were close to the stage or on the stage and not a band member, there's a possibility you would have been hit with a guitar, or you would have been soaked with gasoline.
You guys had your own private plane and everything.
Yeah, we another soundbite. The roadies had roadies. The assistants had assistants.
The interns had interns.
And I'm laughing because looking back, it was beyond Spinal Tap. And when I saw Spinal Tap in '81, I'm going, ooh, that's cutting it close. So what broke the camel's back, I think, was the activity chemically and behind the scenes private stuff, which broke the camel's back. But I think we were done. I think after 3 lineup changes, and 4 into Deep Purple Mark IV, I think a band is kind of done then.
In such a short span of time.
Yeah,
too.
68 they started with Rod and Nick, and then jump into 76 into the spring. It was an 8-year period with at that time about 130 million records sold, and then Tommy died. It was this. What are you gonna do?
Just kind of where do you go from there?
I learned in that band exactly what to do and what not to do as I lived, as my life bloomed and as seasons came and went, and then I got sober in '91 and realized, I had all these things I had to address from the past to move forward. I look at my time in Deep Purple as the biggest learning curve of my life. Being in the biggest band in the world, in that year of 73 and 74. It's chronically in Billboard and everything else. We were, at that time, for that moment, that band. And I was so honored and full of gratitude to be there at that time.
And now, you said when you were moving into the fast lane a little bit, you famously struggled with the addiction around like 77 to 91. Would you say that was kind of a coping mechanism? It's every musician's dream to be in the biggest band in the world, and you accomplished that in a very short span of time.
And I didn't take my first drink till I was 18, and get a visual. It's not like I was a 7-year-old boy tugging on my mother's skirt going, Mommy, when I grow up, I want to be an alcoholic. It's just that when I was in trapeze, young, before you, like 19, 18, I was completely normal, wasn't drinking, wasn't doing drugs. And then when someone has, I hate the word fame, when someone has a profile, people come out and want to give you their girlfriends, and they want to give you a piece of art. They want to give you somebody gave me a horse once. And they will give you whiskey, and they will give you drugs. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was 21 years old in Deep Purple. You kind of accept everything. Some of us didn't, some of us didn't. But, and then you get into this period of taking it all in and having no storage space left. And then you say to yourself, I think I'm good for a couple of years. Just off topic, CNN did a show called The 60s, interviewing Jagger when he was 24, and Mick says, I think we've got another year left in us at 24. So the Stones would have ended in 1965. Well, they haven't. So I thought I could stop at 25. I thought I could stop at 30. I thought I could stop at 40. And then my heart went, you're done, pal. He's a heart attack. Boom. And that's what stopped me. Just that's to chronicleize the dark period for me. 77 to 91 was a dark place. And again, I do not remember the 80s.